Wama from Sasiama, baby, Supreme Court judges and High Court judges, opposite American embassy. One more why you see at home, at the most strategic investor. What do you see more? What was 13 houses for the first time in our history, no? Judges in the court. Hey! Every one more court, every one more court. Na investor no edify court orders no as I could dream you not to me. Hey! And investor wa kukudro impunity. Nonsense. Hey! Kwasi afo. Kwa woni investor ko? Hobodi na mbem pese me repeat. Ye ni akwe wa kukudro. Na judge shooting range no. Tesi range no. Bien tesi range wa so mato. Hey, baby, I'm too dear. I'm talking about why. Baby, a very fire squad. Aye, strategic investor. Honestly, the is more. Chese, we are major padias. Oh, what? Na, walk once, mana. Kwasi ebi susu afe. Wan kabi ma ye o ka gensie. Daddy awuye wan e beke bia. Wa sunu apa. We na ya zangu ani mate. Aye. Said that wow, we is improper fraction. You be no obi pen who wants some FM phone, so me personal phone. Be D no. So we are okay set and enquire it. Mo kro no musu nyansa. Mo kro no kankan. Mo kro no kankan. And never cry. First time. Chelsea range ho no ya twaton. Oh, ekọ. E do be besi dey. More. And opposite Africa. Hey, how's your done? Oh, so government buildings, na store buildings now. I call. Hey, Charlie, we really on your time. I'm a 20 house. Fine. Oh, big father man, Embra. Oh, dear man, I say, yeah, to a bagage. The man strategic investor or the Bay Estate. Hey, now, yeah, no Kwame. Apart from estate, and I'm more. Now, Mamma, Rage Hospitals. Yeah. Doctors Bangalore. Or my dreaming, and the doctors in better of our home. Was so, Doctor. Near Cosimo, you. Ah, yeah, can I you for prisons headquarters one. Omoko court ade omache omote omani na eche yaton e do maton ayiho station range ho no ko e say he na be firing squad ye gumo bi abi eh omo si moti no ye bo bi iron firing squad so ya fokura asa yaton e na kan pese wo na wo a wo ye commander wo de ka ye yi wu fi wa che ambo mom na na trade fair de ko dada hu eko trade fair tomato eko do mba jura gu ana ma juri o ma ye na ma ye basa basa bi na uni se hwe na mudie munyire mo ho na ye all part de anya hwe na on famra kwanso no o de se akokko hwedie a obutu nkosu anya ne de aso obeda ne nemu fagya ya wiye no obeyo kwase a hwe kwa me woni bibi na meka na meka ka se onzo meka me voice bi nam social media bebre se samzi enti so ohwe de ekosu ya December for adwene to aba enfo ko promoti for adwene enfo wafu enfo ko promoti for adwene no na adwene ni tami bebi akokromoti ne beko akwasa asase dwene yie wudi enim dwene yie anso akoto asaka se tuni ni pa o da ta general sisia nya osaf mafu ba no obman who post kwasha ha ebosomdem nanai enti jamaye wenti ana director na no wo no mu yeyi me sure ambe pam so mpre me sure why o si akwan nyambe kana mama no ana aka 4 months pro na de bezi esi hwe woto ababa MPP a wo ya aboa I want to repeat this statement.
the ticket of Baumia Napo, Utu Abama, we are bois. Unimiansa, what drink the femme, ye titia so, a pecheno, a pro, a say. What Jimmy and people for Jimmy.
And some of course, Chroma say, I know the door more than a moment, and who man I am saying. If you say Chrome higher Tiano, say I didn't put to an abetoba, and yet tribalism beam. Medical cassette 2025 by Yakono. Omo Mujama and this near Pippin, will be a ceremony. And Tabanu rather canimua, hey, Otofasura, a slim, Otofafoma, a slim, Utumuta, as a new president. And this are tribal politics, no matter Chromasia, and this is for us in 4 party, and I got 2 men this is for Thomas in 4, and the Musmoko for ceremony. And Tadakanim a transform. So about a fenny I didn't put to Ankasaba Toba sentiment. Sabatowe, and your tribalism beam. Because before this ceremony, and this is for this ceremony, but the other top of your costume. And Tafu rather can work, and a fraction who say, Party ban or bow didn't put to brass and Nefa Toba, Nana Jantua. I'm people by, and mobile ministers. It's only big cabinet minister, because a cabinet ministers are. My penny bonny ministers in your area, another 125% now, boy. You will move a doom kunubia, and Ranishan say. Say or take a decision be for mine one. A one air corner on the side of Dunkuno, at the home community out of the 25 ministers, no boy, and 125 no. Or you 19 from cabinet ministers, Nanajantua, San 19, a Mumako and Kuno no Mufra Ashanti region. The commoner has a day before said deal. 9 out of the 19 cabinet ministers, no Mufri Ashanti region. Yamaomo 44 MPs, members of parliament, Mako 44. Asantimama MPP 1.7 million votes. Yes, any. Anything. 44 MPs. Out of the 44 MPs, we 9 cabinet ministers. Omo makanka ho. Yamam 1.7 million votes. Any. Omo promising 5 interchanges. So on by 5 our Ashanti region. 44 MPs in 8 years. Before we cry, say, I must have a radio so now must say because Munim say Abano, you got to tribal lines. And two better now, say, but now, I send this before you for I'm going to talk about my and the my name and Fabium. And then any person say, and this is for I am to about more moon, only didn't put over. Now, and this was 4 MPs, Makuma 9 Sa MPs 9 as anti-my demand and this, you know, almost me lobby the KJT brass anti-mine. Sa MPs 9 as anti-my demand and this, you know, almost a lobby idea for the military hospital and all the other projects about Chrome Henunano, you who here and then this. MPs 9 under them, you want Tonsu market, you want Swanson market, Mikro Waka market, you want Tafu market. 44 MPs 9 I did my MP before, on my chair, on my anti-mine. And this is 44 MPs. 9 cabinet ministers and I never be my number baby bako. South 44 MPs in Bako. Now the title be to lose a friend running meter. Musa no never yet anti my Messiah and Nama Kumasa than heaven. These people, they should raise the standard a bit. Because someone 9 cabinet ministers. A mamma 44 members of parliament. You're talking 1.7 million mamma. Now someone is be develop as anti-maya. And now running mate Bako be free as never must develop as anti-mine. But then this is one I am to Obama Omo. Yama Omo about 600,000 votes to pay. Yama Omo MPs 4 penno. Ombatina Kunyasunu, Yahu Puntu Omo de Brass and Timaya say, yeah, buy a Kotutia Omoa. And then by this time, and Kaudra for the military hospital, and over 5,000 nurses, and your Jumo, Omo Bayer Pantry, Mombayer, then physician assistant, doctors, and Yade, Uko Seria Regional Hospital. By this time, Kenipo Gumo Muya Juma, and Yama Ashanti region, 10 community day schools, Yeria Makumaku 6. Senior. Now our MPs 4 in NDC. MP before 44 MPs. And I pay me 2 challenge or 4 senior high schools almost see from scratch. I am Kratimuko school. Yang 4 MPs Pana Yedema NDC for I am 12 mono. Almost me 10 brand new senior high schools. Adujama, Pakoso, and Zema, offensive come Bako, Nina, and Kratimuko schools is here. MPP for my almost 44 MPs, Omania 8 years, almost Timin 9 4 per crown, master timpo, our Maria and Kratimuko school. And to say, Obi was Antimantem was saying, now Okotwaba, no one punto and a twaba, own rather come to this da. fi say your party a oba otimi develop asantema mu a NDC makoyi 44 bisini baako na mo say mo the title bi ato no so say free na gro or your running mate enti mezaya ubetima dada mo ho na ma dada mo ho na masere but nipa e wo oman mu nipa e wo asante region ha say ne de omunim say your party a odi mpunto bebre ya NDC for enutina 2024 7 December krom hafo nyina na ona ma obi aye din obi akuse sentrim.
I've heard this thing said so many times, and I wonder the basis why they say so. The NDC has no social intervention programs. It's the funniest thing I heard. Who brought the District Assembly's Common Fund concept? It was the NDC. We put it in the 1992 Constitution and said 5 to 8% of total government revenue should go directly to the districts for their development. So if you go to your district and the District Assembly has built a school, a KVIP, a nursery, a sports recreation, a community center, it is a social intervention of NDC that has produced that. Who introduced the GET Fund? It's Rawlings, NDC. We passed the GET Fund law. And but for the GET Fund, where would our education be? Most of the educational infrastructure in this whole country is being provided through the GET Fund. And so how can you say we haven't introduced social intervention policies? But in any case, what a social intervention policy is an action or policy that provides social services or social benefits to the people. And so it's not only GET Fund and other things. We have provided more access to water than any other government in the history of this country. When Professor Mills came into government, access to clean drinking water was 58%. By the time we left office, access to clean drinking water was 76%. For Accra alone, we added 40 million more gallons of water. In 8 years, not 1 gallon has been added. And I hear the Ghana Water Company say, oh, Accra is overgrowing a supply of water. It's overgrowing its supply because in 8 years, you have not added a single gallon to it. You must plan and know what your population growth rate is. And you must continue to put in the capacity to bring in more water. And that's why I'm saying that we took water and brought it in from the northern direction of this country. And so Adenta and other places that had never gotten water for almost 15 years saw their taps flowing for the first time. Today, I'm sure your taps flow twice a week or something. If you don't store water, you will run short. And so we need to invest to bring more water supply, not only to Accra, but to all our growing communities around the country. And so if you are a government and you haven't invested in improving water, definitely access to people will be denied. We've extended electricity more than any government in the history of Ghana. Electricity is a public good. When electricity arrives in a community, it changes the lives of the people very rapidly. People can engage in small-scale enterprises. It was Rawlings who introduced the Rural Electrification Program and the National Electrification Program. And so today, when we say that Ghana has more than 80% access to electricity, it's because the NDC introduced those policies for us to be able to do so. So how can any person say that NDC has not introduced any social intervention? Even the NHIS. NDC started a pilot in Damango and Nkranza for the NHIS. Implementation started in President Kufuor's time. But what President Kufuor introduced was a mutual health insurance scheme. And so your card, your NHIS card, allowed you to access health services only in the district in which you were registered. Today's National Health Insurance Scheme was introduced by Professor Mills. He changed it from a mutual district insurance scheme to a national health insurance scheme so that your card could access health care anywhere in Ghana you go. And so I wonder what is giving these people this idea. You know, I can refer to free school uniforms and free sandals. The free school uniform policy was introduced by Professor Mills. I can refer to the free textbooks for basic schools. When Nana Jane, seated here, was minister, she came and met a situation where 3 children had access to 1 textbook. By the time she left office as minister, every child in basic education had access to 4 textbooks of their own. If that is not social intervention, I wonder what else is social intervention. Even let's take progressive free SHS. It's a policy, the free SHS. I launched the free HS. And so you can't say that we have not had any social intervention. If you talk about the cocoa sector, our policy of free fertilizer and free cocoa inputs and free seedlings changed the lives of the cocoa farmers. And if you remember, when I was leaving office, we did almost 1 million tons of cocoa because of the policy that we had of giving these inputs to the farmers free. If that is not a social intervention, I wonder what else is. That argument must stop. And the point even is, these people have done more harm to social interventions than any other government in history. They capped the NHIS, and apart from that, they starved it of funds. And so most people with an NHIS card today cannot access health services. You go, you get a consultation, there are no drugs, not even analgesics. You go to hospitals and they say they won't accept the NHIS card because the NHIS is not refunding their claims. And it's not refunding their claims because this government has starved the NHIS of money. They've starved the District Assembly's Common Fund of money. The Constitution said 5% to 8%. We were giving District Assemblies 7.5% of national revenue. When this government came, they reduced it to 5%. And the rest they are putting into the consolidated fund to spend at the center. And even the 5% does not come. If you go and ask any district secretary, he will tell you there is no money. They go begging the MPs to let them have access to the money in their district common fund accounts to be able to do even some of the basic things. And so this government is doing more. Get fund, they collateralize Get fund and spend the money in advance. So Get fund is not able to continue the projects that it is undertaking because the fund has been collateralized. And so this government has done more harm to the existing social interventions than any other government in the history of the country. I've heard this thing said so many times, and I wonder the basis why they say so. The NDC has no social intervention programs. It's the funniest thing I heard. Who brought the District Assembly's Common Fund concept? It was the NDC. We put it in the 1992 Constitution and said 5 to 8% of total government revenue should go directly to the districts for their development. So if you go to your district and the District Assembly has built a school, a KVIP, a nursery, a sports recreation, a community center, it is a social intervention of NDC that has produced that. Who introduced the Get Fund? Ms. Rawlings, NDC. We passed the Get Fund law. And but for the Get Fund, where would our education be? Most of the educational infrastructure in this whole country is being provided through the Get Fund. And so how can you say we haven't introduced social intervention policies? But in any case, what is social intervention policy? Is an action or policy that provides social services or social benefits to the people. And so it's not only Get Fund and other things. We have provided more access to water than any other government in the history of this country. When Professor Mills came into government, access to clean drinking water was 58%. By the time we left office, access to clean drinking water was 76%. For Accra alone, we added 40 million more gallons of water. In 8 years, not 1 gallon has been added. And I hear the Ghana Water Company say, oh, Accra is overgrowing its supply of water. It's overgrowing its supply because in 8 years, you have not added a single gallon to it. You must plan and know what your population growth rate is. And you must continue to put in the capacity to bring in more water. And that's why I'm saying that we took water and brought it in from the northern direction of this country. And so Adenta and other places that have never gotten water for almost 15 years, saw their taps flowing for the first time.
All right, memo akwaba edeba inside politics jumedie so what yanka ewo power 97.9 yesanso ye live ewo TVXYZ a wo hweme na se nana hema metina edwamo ediama Mugabe Maase atankru biga Mugabe bia wo bia metiao agumbe man na ene majibedwe ye koma egudie ba kope wotemenka kwoma mu babia wo bia Ghana fana nyina wiase afana nyina na nahema mechia mo babia mo wo bia na ensemu bebre enso na esisi wo yema mu ayanka se no nan abapa ho sema aduenu enum ewo ye kasafidie ne ye kasamfoni eso ensemu a esisi emu enkomodie na ye de ebramo ye live ewo Facebook power 979 na TVXYZ enti sa wo nya link na mepacho chechema foforo nsanka bi na ne wo de adwenchene so title ye beka ni nyina so e de amamo na dwumadie so ye wo akukudam enso ha ye ne omo ebesi nkonya na ye di nkomo ewo ensama hodo a etwaguo ewo ye mayim eho etitan mu kutu na twen na nan ma manya age adwan efisa bre kosi se no nsia bebo menemo na etena ha anase edin komoi na no nsia bemu ye de kasebo abremo ensama wodo ya aba ye de ani ebehwe NDC amayeko no campaign John Mahama sede nentu abono ekosa se wahento obase ewo enkamante mu ha entisa nkomodie ne ye de bebremo wudafo nso na mu ane frankatu former MPP amayeko na wono de entrona na ogusu edidi na mu saa ede eko eti honso ensem ye de beba adrobafo se de omani abrese sesi ade wo feel heat no enya sam kito san say spare parts boye din afa fen wo bo nso peja na peja wo je wo ho a wo enyi ewo mu nti wo to ahyentuade abuo mu no so en komodie wo ho a afa kwade wo de che ope makane aban no ese ye ese na de ekono na ye o ene yaton ye kala TV akofa black and white no so en komodie nyina beba ewo ensem emu na ne nyina mu no baby awo bia wotemenka mebisaw ene enumre ye na wie yi se anya bia wo nsu ana wo pipe eba esan se beye mesantini wo bie wo pipe a ne obetia ne hwe emfi mu ma ansa na motemenkan na my penny ma wone dalbonuma ehia ye ne wadi nkan aka ese ensu hwe mami misaw say eden kra ne social intervention program a chen say wo be ma wo manfo ensuo de adu omuduma enu ntina worker say ye nyina so ye duani hu bi ese NDC abanya breso wo mo eba ye baabia na ensuo ya ye de ma manfo clean water ede du omo eduma wo hanchemu fa na ejina wo hanchemu aduonum wotwe wo mo be fa de kosi wo hanchemu aduosun ensia ene yemisasa ban ne baye sai no wode aka ho na yenyansuo didi yedwuma wo yempotam ana anokwasem say Accra East ne Accra West de wudu ho a ensuo enni ho menimu se wo mpotam nso ete se wo ho a beye eko na wotwe ni ebi kura de ye na wotwe mienu yenyansuo didi yedwuma aban papa no wote so ye doma ama aban ena wo mo dwene ho ehu se oh ene de eteshi desalination plant ebe ba sebe ya yebe ma omanfo ne ensuo bebre ede de wo mo eduma enti enkran krom ha na ye ka ensuo a da kru bia gallons ye de eduma wo pepemu aduana aban ba ye yenhu de ekọ enema nyina agency pinin pataku yenya ensuo Ghana Water Company Limited eye de na ekọ wo ka wo mo se dum so wudu weja ye treatment plant no eye dum so nti ensuo no enti bosumi ne edum so akoso saa yenya ensuo ana mama yensuo na manfo ni abre ya wo mokasa etitu Accra West na Accra East de tibiana no ɔden wɔ hɔ paa eti munya ne saa ma yɛ nya saa enche mubehu demonstration wɔ kurom mami nsuo ya ban asɛdeɛ se wobɛma wo manfo nsuo mami nsuo ɛno nso de ɛyɛ ho demonstration asa mama yɛ nsuo Clifford Brima ɛne wo nkrɔfo a wo ne ɔmo yɛ adwuma den na akɔso enti abesi na yɛnya nsuo ɛna yɛde de adwuma yi nsuo yɛnya ɛyɛka ɛsɛ water is life nsuo yɛ nkwa ɛno ti ne yɛkyerɛ mo sɛ moto pipe ni mu akyɛ moma yɛ nsuo we kra kyɛ opa bi anim sasa yɛ masade sɛ moma yɛ nsuo efi na ekɔ sɛ yɛ bebie yɛ pipe mepacho bebie awo wo ni nsuo a ma yɛnte yɛ bebie yɛ pipe na yɛ tru a mo bɛte yɛ nka dan amamu onsini na ne nyina mu ɛna my penny papa bi John Domini mama ane wono na abreso na yɛ ni nsuo ho kom ensukom ne yɛn sanse ne yɛ nyansuo de di adwuma ane etamamu papa wode bro my Ghana ye mpuntu nyuma bebre ne yasetemu nsem ekɔ yie no wo side de abre ye bio enu ti ne ye hwe ne mu kwan se nyame ya domo a December bosime da so enson wo kogina ballot box ni mu na wo to aba wo beto de akɔ NDC afa John Mahama na wodi amamu papa asan abre ye bio na enei wo bone ntoa ewo nkramante mu wa hyento abase ewo nkramante mu a ene ekɔ yie pa enyasem ketwa wodu ba bia sade amanfo na eka ne se ye bre etibra na ebeje yen ene se wokopie mu ewo eye ayawase West Wogon empotam University of Ghana okopie mu ewo hɔ a enkomodi eguso ekoso na ayawase West Wogon sade pani a odrem nso ede ama NDC amayoko ewo hɔ akomra hyebedwom John Dumelo womo nyina womo ani abre ya womo ejina mu twe amanfo ba yese momra na mometie ensempa John Mahama ewo de mamo ene nienti a esese December bosum da to so enso edura mo begina so na mato aba ede amano na nentu abonyi mu no yama ne bofo wisdom hededwome edi akira emepom se yenya wisdom a wode saa amanebo no ebebre ye said ensama hodo a wode etu edwa ene said ye amanfo esi egenofa na my penny Mahama wonam nyina no wo kasa eti ayawase West Wogon ene enkran empotam ba bia wode ne ntu abono aduru ensama wode tu dwabi no yenko ne yenkotie bi na yenfa adwen.
I want to assure the people of Ayawaso West Wogon and our colleagues who died, the 8 innocent Ghanaians in the 2020 elections, that when NDC comes, we'll pursue justice for them. We'll also give them the appropriate compensation in order that they can put their lives back together. Our nation is in crisis, and we all know the crisis we're going through. Times have never been as hard in Ghana as they are today. Our people are sinking into poverty. A recent report says that 55% of Ghanaians are living in poverty. We've never had this high percentage of Ghanaians living in poverty before. And our assemblyman was quoting some statistics. It says almost 2 million young people, youth, are not in education, they are not in employment, they are not in training. At the age when you are a young person, you should either be employed, that is, if you have finished school, you must be working. If you are not employed, you must still be in school, educating yourself. If you are not in education, you should be in training to earn a skill to be able to go into the world of work. Ghana as they are today. Our people are sinking into poverty. A recent report says that 55% of Ghanaians are living in poverty. We've never had this high percentage of Ghanaians living in poverty before. 2 million young people are sitting idle at home, not doing any of these three things. This is a very dangerous statistic to witness. And so we're sitting on a time bomb in this country. When NDC was in power, unemployment was 8.2%. Today unemployment is 14.7%. And aside from this, life is hard for everybody. For our women and other people who go to the markets. I mean, we have the highest food inflation almost the highest food inflation in Africa. Prices are unbearable. You know, but the dangerous thing is, when you are ill and you know what is wrong with you, it is halfway towards a cure. If you are ill and you know it's malaria, you are halfway towards curing yourself of malaria. If you are ill and you know it's typhoid, you are diagnosed, you know it's typhoid, you are halfway towards getting the cure. Unfortunately, the people who have caused this economic crisis do not even realize there's a crisis. Because when you hear them say they are the best government and that even Nkrumah doesn't come, it shows that they don't even understand the situation in which Ghana is. Because if they understood the situation, we are still 5 months to an election. There are urgent measures that they can take to ameliorate the situation. You don't go saying, vote for me, and when I come, I will do this. You can do it now. You say you rationalize taxes. 5 months to an election, you can rationalize. It's enough time to rationalize taxes. All the promises you are making, you have enough time to start implementing them right now. And say, no, vote for me first, and then I'll come and do it.
Eti my penny papa bia wana mo kwai so ba fanka tufuo edema NDC amayoko John Mahama ena yatene nkanam ayawose was wo gone a woka say ni okai asem okai yetofo ne to ye summarize ya ni nyina ne say ahotire wo ho nanso kame say aban na wono di yanim no de yakwa ahotire mu wono won feli ahotire like onim krasa ahotire bi wo ho eti ye kase ye ho che ye na o se da bi mo ho nchemo ene makoyie ene nyuma na egui chese bibia dede nsepene pataku NDC abraso ana yenya enipakuo bi mo kase ena unemployed graduate association sabre ni mumpo no na womo eni adwuma ye eye ohantemu enwotwe ne etiepo mienu 8.2% enso nei apeja kodru 40.7%. No one beside won say aban yi bone ben na Ghana for ye wo. Ah ne womugu so enam bom ho safo yin say womo na ama Ghana aye yi atese man pani bia ma ya o te se man pani akufu ado ama Ghana ye ho atoye. Enso Ghana Statistical Service aban ko ntabufu atena ye. Na anu ama ne bom de ba ye ne say emabuna womo eni adwuma ye. Ye ni school mu esi yesua ade yenso a ye ni nsanodwuma ye bro opepem mienu 2 million enti say ye kasa ho kire wo ho adwuma ni ho na won so ba be ka kire say wo wo bibi wa ye ama ye ho toyen na sabe wote Pluto na say wote Jupiter na tesa wo Ghana ha no wonte ha bi eno wa say na my peni ma e ka say wo yam ye wo ya wan fe wo se say me yam ya me ya why be wo se yam yo ya na se wuti esumu na wan prumri mo enso hye na yehwegu so situation ni binie san se abai no wono wonimu yade kra ye no na nkampese wa pe solution na se eho anu aso eno na de wo hawo yi ababeja yesunti a eho nya se Ghana for yetumi esesem wo December bosome de to so enso yade amamuo papa John Mahama edi animu eba na Ghana for ye ho toyen why Ghana for sansa ye brepa nentu abone guso a ekoso na wisdom headed drum emrepamu yenya na wode saman yo wisdom ewa homa no so wisdom akwaba hello wisdom ye sho say ye betoto ahoma no na wisdom headed drum ya senya no na entu abono baby o makopie no watumi edi mu amanebo abreyen ne nyina eye my penny Mahama ntu aba wode ahyaase ewo enkramantem emu aya oso wes wo go na wokohia ya anase okoya na wone omanfo edi enkoma ensem nyina epiepie ewo mu enienti ese yede amayoku mienu no eto ensanie so na yewe na yehwene esese yede oman na konwa assignment no etna so bio afiwe eye policies nko ho asem no yeka eti wo ba ye no wa ye mfie nwotwe NDC nso ba ye mfie nwotwe ni obi aye ye de gu ensaniani na yahwe woso ansuo so ansan so ampanefo na kaye na wo na wo hu die mu oduru eti Ghana fo nei ye hu die emu oduru tumi ne so wo yensem eti ye hwe amayoko ne policies eba boa ya amaya setemu adwen eno so de se wankasa wonim NDC sasa ban bia ni wo se waba wo Ghana amayosem mu abakosemu na eba ne social intervention program se be ma o manfo asetemu adwo mo na ye ho ahan yen a wo chen NDC sasa NDC no kwa no se yenimu se wo mo eye socialist eti obi ono no eye socialist no wo so ye capitalist a wo si den e ma manfo ho dwo mo se wo mo eti enhwehwe ne de ewo ho edu ho a wisdom asaba bio wisdom akwaba
me de so na hema
nsesi anto abono my penny John Dramani mama e de wo enkramante mu no edu he
Isam no kase de baba bedu eye asalibike old town ya oni nanano matlan konya the community AD in the town na no mo ne se anope se ne di kan bo ne club na wo tiri no but I see esi ayawa so west go balisi ya na oni nananom e kata no no se I'm sure we can attend that, so I'll just move on. It's a few on, and of course, the University of Ghana campus, Legon, and the vandals, no equity in common, and which occur the diaspora, and the students, no one also equity in common, and which you know for the vice chancellor office, once only equity in common, and all of these engagements, no, or the assurances, Ama, the community, say, almost now in the upcoming elections, almost about Emma. John Dramani Mahama as well as John Jumelo for the Ayawaso West Ogon constituency. Now, for the student body, no, we say, the University of Ghana campus, one of the problems is more accommodation. With the next government, you know, there were lots of development projects on look at here. Yeah, and our partner in community, the 2016 elections. The next administration member board, they say all of those abandoned projects, you know, on the course, so now Omar revising, especially the private postal extensions, on the private sector, another partner, so the Yabua, na students on the course, university, no Munya hostels, and Demuno. The new initiative, no them to put together, no Marshall, the private partnership, Bois Ama hostels will be abandoned. The students mostly many of them. Who did a community a day, a new thing or other people a year, agenda constituency. Yeah, on it, the Memopon, Edin Common, a chief in the agenda constituency, Nano, Abba, it is from my here, a year, Grandpa, Queenman, Papa, all the kids in the area, no Abba, yet Memopon, so come a support for the Muslim community, or Muna. Probably say mini deba ya oyo mo aging commercial no kasele na sema waka so far no ABNS we say any best administration is out of fact let us say near cost o no o ma yo ma je say omo de omo nse omo sare ano mo say omo aban ana say no mo ye no is better of papa say near the farming commandu abade for no it say omo near cost of Ghana ha ya tinemu for every mabunu enya juma yema bo akoso and then say juma unye diane nso bayre baako tete Ghana any next town the government is out of touch yeah it means you know and said the 2024 election piano yeah so about 80 omo we any say ya waka so far yeah all that's why kata
yo wisdom akoswana for when di akire ya beba wonche kase ebofo no ebeba ho na de aketri nya wo de abaye da sepan eti na etiefo ne ahwefo wisdom heda dwome eton krama yen ena baabi aman pani John Dramani mama sesi a wode ne ntu abono akopie adentam potamo ene baabi so far wakonyina no watwa ehunfuni ede abrayen ane enti ntu abono de eguso ekoso na yeguso ewo endisam yekoni mu de se yese bema bia beko nanimu a na so oba oba papa wogina na chinti ne senti yenya ye ne mu se Professor Nana Jane opokwa agyeman oba papa bi wono onye sire queen chese obone homoden ne tia bobew etu franka ma ndc amayoko no ese abedie kire wono so de entuabo kopie mu ewo mfifi mantemu wono de ne ba wo ba nyina wo se ye campaign nyina no eya kade ne ye hia ne beboa ma ye campaign etumi ayeyie anase akonanim eti wode niam ahodo akoma ewo mfifi mantemu wo se monye na monfanya campaign na sade man pani ma amakora di nkan akase afi campaign ye kofam eti wo kran so no adopt branch na ye campaign ewo ho se be ye niam ebekoso kama dia ma omo no wo se niam ye de ye campaign no branch ho ene ye di sie anase ebesi obi aso na ya tete ma obi anya bi e de akwakoye adwuma eti sai bi pepepe ene wakoye na wabo no ho ba se womo ede womani atofom ese eho akonya se ye che ema obi anya niam ni bi na wode aye adwumaden aboa party no eti wo se branch foi montam kutu wentwen efi sabre so akode senya ena ye kono ya chesa ma omanfo nani age pa professor na Jane Opokwadima wo bodwuma wo mfifi mantemu
Botumbi ayenye yenye ni Yesu na ndise onfa no tampamfra na Ghana so nya bebe papa nkejire bio the motorbikes me ye chende sisei no yemfa ma yan communicators awo region so the motorbikes sabe nyimpa na obatena do ode ye bon ho ban nti e besro ho na obaka bike no eye won hwere won krata ni wezi no won helmet no wa hye dama so ne kita Ninsem oye t-shirts enyimda wire house to house if it is banzo kakra yes be busumi no do biase more constituency more region more post more new post nyo no hia mo hia nde ebezin konyim mo hia nda emano obenya ne tampa efra na hihye pa no wa so nyina ayendo hihye pa na ebinyi ma ohi ebinyi 24-hour economy yantasi Women's Development Bank ohia papa
Abaye Botum December 2024 is NDC Ekwabom 2025 ambi ye na duma bibia be ye do so be yamembo wa so hu ban na eyenko nkutwa epunu na ye nku ndi baba e da se
prof mo wa boyduma papa professor na Jane Opokwadima de bia meka me se oba asam kabia ni ne ho wonye slekwen ne tia bobel etese wo ho ye nhwesode de ma ye emabunu ye ba na wode edwumadie ekopie mu ewo mfifi mantemu atese eye enuama nko an ye de ma monye na momfanya adwuma ye nche ema ne so obi aso obi fa bi nkoche kona bia na yenye adwumade no emfa nkunumdie emra ye kan say no say wujafo my pania be de che Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia wono so wakopie mu watifi mantan mu a wo ye den o se wo ye campaign na wokoye no ensem a se eja wo ye campaign a ye ni mo se wo asem a wo be kan de a kira manfo me opponent no wono mamuntie no sansa ne o ka sen da bi emwa me de sen na me de ba Dr. Bawumia ni message bi adema manfo no esa ne se enka enfie porpori wo enson kon wotwe a mo ba aban mu a my pani akufo ado se wo de wodo hoahoa ne ho wuti abobe nti wo boa no wona mamuo mu no na ye expect se enei baby a wo de Ghana aduru a ye paye ho a ye hu ya sen no nka wo na ma wo ka kira manfo nso woni mu se wo munye bibia nti no Dr. Bawumia enam savana mantemu no woni hwehwehwehwe eka kire wom ne o ka ne sai wo de montoma me mon so me hwehwe so me hwe de se politician ka kire wo se so me hwe na wapa baby de utia fa sansen so me hwe bia ho ne ye ginen so me hwe bia ho ne ye ti etane Dr. Bawumia nam na wo sai ka kira manfo se me de na me ye mate keke drobani no ne my pani Akufo Addo nti mo so menhwe se meda ne niamani a wo buwa woni hwe de ma amanfo na wonam ene ne nsem a woka wontumi nka ade papa bi aban na yenti a yenyina so nto abama no yentie no.
He has been there before. I have not yet been president. But if he comes back, he can only be president for 4 years. By the grace of God, if I come, I can be president for 8 years. But what we know is that the presidency is coming to the north. One way or the other, a northerner is going to be president. But when it leaves the north, we don't know when it will come back. It will take a long time to go through other regions before it comes back to the north. So if it is coming to the north, do we want it for 8 years or for 4 years? Do we want 8 years or 4 years? Yeah, I believe that if we get it for 8 years, and with the support of people like Abujinapo, Clifford Brymer, Ake Saleh, and with the support of people Clifford Brymer, Ake Saleh.
AK Medi Bebom, Dr. Baumia, one of the or say ne preoccupation, Nana say, or better my penny Janiso. 81 number 1. I want to Ghana for the Muno and funny who. Nedia ne say, Monfa City and Mamma. Now say, yes, I see the book mouth, my important. Kona kwaje. Na asama okano, and none say, work asano. Time ana one more air pan upon tomano. Waka some be a yobusianti timu no deba. And no been what Sako Kawa Savannah region one. I say free north for her. I command free north for her. Ebesa bahabio ebeche pan. Dr. Baumia, ye missa say, what by ya my penny abedi chino. A dear 8 years muani a wing. Dear, and a wire dear boy Ghana for a nunti, yes, I for Kunyana Mount. Wouldn't she a brand now war position? Na Ghana for be what you dear will say, eh, what cried the bano economy na, what be ye pa a woman tinker. What about one near me na ako ye. What about far a citizen $1 no amanonisicano? What about fan say 3.8? What the father say a 4 citizen po? A 4 cities, what for a year America dollar back one, ye fa say 4 Ghana, and they didn't say. Ye fan wobo, not gallon back ye say 14 cities, and they are to say over 70 cities. 80 say, what can say? Yes, I'm for Ghana and show Sebiwa. Na eno no sabio bibia ye pepe pana again the ni bet na se adwen ho se papa pa na woba na Ghana to say na to say ye de begu nsane ani na ya dwene ho ehun se wonni bibi papa bia de maye wo de presidency na opese okotera ho enti wonam wonni hwe kasa se wankasa da bia me kasa wo kra wani eden se wotumi tisi dwom ese wo ye campaign near why Ghana every egugu amanfo banks ama womo ete say almost cash shop bebre yave bebre wubu womo so ana womo eye adwuma banks banking sector na te say ye gununti omo tefie wotumi sanya kukudro se to abama na betena man pani adwa so no kra de ensi na pani okasa de ma concerned drivers ekuo no o se my penny mama fache ye pa sanse nei fen wo bo se de apeja kosro ye je ye ho a enye wa breso 14 cities ye gallon ba kokra na ye complaini ne ye nyina na ye nim se na ye na da na my penny Akufo Addo ne Baumia wo mo ededa ye ti wo bunkotodwe pa wuli wo pache se my penny mama fa ye bone cheyin.
Oh yeah, how many years?
35 years.
Wow.
35 years.
Yes, you've been a driver.
No, 56 years.
You've been a driver under many governments. CCA, baby, a petrol will be dry. Any more Germans in the sea corner. And you matter say,
I am Mumra station.
mbe ntale mpese ye na drabafo eya no keke enami bay adrabafo e fra me wuli monka bi mayen na yesre ya na fo ma enya gedi fo se yesre wo mo so won sorry so wo man so la o man bebutu if say ye ne de ye koto na ya tom nti utuma ye betum utuma ye betum me ba no bibi sam yan papa mi GP atifo so mo mfa maye am say ba ko ye de ba so mo mfa ma so ye no mo gi ye no mo anye sabi okwase na se de yonko ye nem enti yan papa ba o mi ado kwa no de ye na drama fo fa so se o ma mu yan mu a mo nto ka maye baby e papa ke ne ka ye be ye adwuma esu tatechemu ene ye tietia so yan papa jo mama sorry ma o 24 hours na wo so de ban adrava fo ye jitum papa because ye ne concern ya shede to kwana kuma se akoro ke jetia ho se ye adwuma 24 hours ya obi free sehwe obi free north obi bru ho na dua obenye baby atena akopim se na busu eni ba ma be fan wo mo ka kire ne yentie ene ye so de tia ho fa chayen ye nyesa ade ne bio efise ye papa ba o mi ade se ye si ye hwe nsem wa kan ene se o hawa ene ye ni koma minia se wo be lodu ene unu susana driver from lodu o lodu fi Accra na kwa masamana baba sekre na wakwa chimota na wakwa belia tupuku yase adenti asise boni a wo ma hye ne nti yentimi control drivers no so ntimi nye says and the petrol so nya to petrol mu pe aban kewona antin says so yi enti driver ni na ohia ni ba na wo fre kurase aba na onya ba bi ntra no wanya ka etwi no ni top money no uye fina no no di betu adanka uye fina no no di betu water bill uye fina no no di betu alert ya matum ne bude ne adaba fu yentimi ntua ya to prepared ni na sa be kona danin to kwa wo fie yetim ana driver fu de mo ye adwuma mu ntua light ka adenti ehihye aban wa hihye ma driver fu ekutia yen ye ma no nto na wo so biometric card na eba biometric card so masa yenya overall eti for kwampa so se obehwe ma dollar na gina se yesi ya to lol film 2 months na ya kasi ya to mun na o kase was dollar na ye 15 something and then you kwabu so kai you kwa no wo mo se 15 something na wo mo kite scan ko se bibra wo da brosa wo ka tem plan se brosa wo pasi obi so bebra 3 billion me ko se bibra
spare parts no so kumo
anu kra den ka 2 months ni me koto vet engine me 28,000 say 13,000
no what
13,000 me na me catch me receipt down me wo enra de me kwa me ba bia me koto en enti kwa na wo de trans first mo ba no so bus mo ma ni bi a teacher fo a nurse fo pensioners
so the message is that enyema say
the transport center they are say kura
a transport sector no niema agency penin patoku bibia say wo ho nanka ba omie wona mu nanka wudu savannah region so the gold for oil policy aba enka no waka no ho asem nanka obete pa wo ho say amfa hwe amreyen ama fen wo bo kra kwa da ekoso eno say na te say Robbie Peter to people niema bisa create looten share niema sa pawini ena yeka say man pani ma amfa ne bone nche no say eniema akoso amamu say NDC ene say amayoku a wo mo baban mu a wo mo dwi omanfo ho wo so wotifie wo hwame wo tie mi a wankasa wo di eniema akoso ye maimu egu nsaniani a wo hu say mienu no baako edenso eye NDC oba Ghana for ehoto no inside politics dwumadie so enie baby edu no medam homa tonkra basisi a ye ba enkomo no ne kese pa ba bekoso na chese enkamantemu eye trefo edma NDC samayeko no onyobo etiefos tetechai wagene dwa ewo ha ye bedi nkomo sanso na ye bo wura man kasa mediem epoe mantemu NDC enkoko abato mpesia so pani a wojo manam akomra hyebedwafie Frederick Obinsomwa wono so aginedwa ewo ha eti tweme na nahema mi twa me ho abasisi a meba enkomo no beto so All right, Mesima Wakwaba Bio Edeba Inside Politics Jumedi So Power 97.9 and a TVXYZ tena wo hwe no numa ba pa ho sema N9 na ye live on Facebook Power 979 TVXYZ Multi TV de boss so Radio XYZ and so ubenya ye ewo ho ene ye affiliate nyina so efabi information center sahodo wo nyina efabi mepacho sede ya meka no wunya link na wachecha mafofo nsa akabi nana ye ma ba akopɛ na mata se beposo ma nana ya fori wa manfo kwa maya gudie ane ladies dem boss enti kwa maya nyina mechia mo enwumre sanso na baby awo bia wotemenka memawadwo enwumre matremu ediama Mugabe Maase atankuri biga ane na ene ensam wo ho pa ye ba bedi ho enkomo ensam no ebi ese my penipa pebia wona mokwan so ba John Mahama na ntu abo enkramantemu etuwo mu dendenden a amanfo hwria na wo mu hwri eje message na wode enam no ye bedi mu nkomo adrobafo se omani mu aye din fu ebo kwa na ekoso nti wo nso wo mo ba beto ahyentuade abuomu anya bia hu sunsanso etesen ewo ye a passenger for eso ene ensem ya eka ho ye de emu enkomodie bebremo na mabedwafo aye krado ya wo mo age wo adwa honorable Theophilus Tetechai ono eye enkamantemu trefo edema NDC amayokuo no honorable Akwaba bibia eboko de reading no nso eda ho
bibia eda ho then
oh semi bisa say bibia eboko reading mu ana ya shasi mema Akwaba
okay name Joso
esanso ena honorable Frederick Obisomu ono so eje mama NDC amayokuo no ewo enkokwa abate mpesi asako mrahye bedwam wono sabe kamensa ewo ha honorable Akwaba
yeah
bibia eboko nkoko
adom ni ahwe bibia eboko nkoko na nkoko for say yemfa nchi akese mo bibia wa ha na yenhemo say nyame adoma December 7th inshallah just sit no for the very first time
inshallah that's yamo Akwaba na mamenkan for Medimosis Clinic and Prostate Center ema me pacho be me bia wo prostate won say de bia ya me na me ka ho asam esam prostate de ho hia me enti bibia fa prostate ho fa ko Medimosis na yenhwe ema wo de edro bia ba mountain so eno ye Medimosis garlic capsules Ceylon cinnamon ewom wono mo eboa improve blood circulation afa ese unsai ana wonan baby na aye tititi a wono madure ya ebeboa tete ne nyina cholesterol bone eyi free ho na afa womo sai hwe nyare wabi to say sexual weakness man me nyina wo bi wo ba ye beboa wo na diabetes ne typhoid malaria ne nyina womo ye ho adwuma ewo ho adenta barrier womo ne police station ne di nhwene mu ASL building mu ewo Ghana Highway Authority yard mu ministries womo wo ho ahenema kokoben Kumase aje kwadwo ne school for the deaf di nhwene mu wona Medimosis bedin komo ewo 0244 068447 0244 068447 afe Power Specialist Herbal Hospital womo kra de hwe bibia fibroid ho se wo se wanya fibroid ko ma me Beatrice Akosua dua ya wo de bibidro na e kana ne fibroid na ho to aba ana se wo dom pe ba bi ebu wani da so asa wo ba wo be kasi ebibidro now wo be kasi ama wagya wo naso fatty liver na sciatica prostate ho nsem hweka Kumase feyase legbosum twekwan ne so wone just bro filling station din hwani mu omo ho nsanso na Accra ha kwabenya pokuase kwan ne so omo ewo ho Takrade Energy Estate Fred 0244 544 0244544422 na wono mo edi enkomo na mensa kan eba ye afimu eni nyame yadom a 2nd August ye to draw no 5,000 Ghana cedis ela ye che wuti ye na se fa wo dia 5,000 Ghana cedis chase etwa *274*10# utwa ba kwa 10 cedis na achese ye to draw no na wudia 5,000 ada obotom sanso na ye de 5,000 bi ebekọ Kolebu dialysis unit Osu Children's Home XYZ Foundation so ye de bi ebetum sa eti chase ne twafa phone no na chese sika no emra emeye wo chefa mabedwafo mesan emamakwa ba bi honorable na honorable look where they are not you mo share a TV studio abohu de ekoso honorable my penny mahama where the yan say mekra no wa share into abase enkamantam emu ya chese wona mu no ensema wodo wo de tu adwa ene sade amanfo no esi aso asem ni mu afa wo hu ne sen
yo maminda we TFO nyina ene omo a enyumre omo hwe XYZ me do omo nyina se omo so adaji omo asre adaji ya kakre bi omo de hwe enyumre
sa
na answer ye be sha ase no na wo hwe menuma na wasre ebe mi se ye nyina bibia ye duri ye nyina ya said say ye be make sure say party no inkunimdi a was say ye nyina ya hwehwe ma party no especially in the Greater Accra region no yensa ebeka ewom say ye wonyama nkitingizingiti a emma nyama enkoso sene ye nyina ya sepe
okay
but Mr. say sabi ansa bibi ebeye krekre no na ebia bibi su ehya ase
sa nti for bibi ankoka papa e
ni na mpese meka no enu nti ne mesre ye mpanyimfo a omo wo region hanu
okay wo ka ho bi
yes say ye nyina ya sede say ye beboa ma asundwe aba party no
okay
nyama na ACC no ebi ye internal and ebi nso ye external
okay
but aside that no the focus and I say juma e was say ye no etimi aka say Greater Accra ye boy juma
okay
but in some kitingiti no e overshadow ni ye ni nyina eno ni ade ba ko a haye but that is the situation I wom but me sure say kakra once I mpanyimfo ekura nsemu no mu a omo hwehwehwe mu no ebedu baabi no ebejo ba won say ye wasundwe a synergy anasa hoondin a ye de beye adwuma no obia de beba border ye nya ye hwehwe no ye benya manabro so nti na sere enwanum se bibia ye du no ye nja bibia na sebi omo nso omo ka eyi eja no enfama no mo bo eyi ma eja no ihu no e be srom the focus ni say o mine pese NDC as a party no ye bibi edi no mo ansa obo hu say workers unions I decided say omo nyina omo ko strike no ma shut down the economy no na kire say bibi edu no e was obia sorry nti eyen asede say e be make sure say party no e be ma adjubre beba na ejumedi a ye di no etumi epie na ye ka His Excellency
neto no mahama
Greater Accra ha no no ye di na ye ejuma bebre ba se na me se ka no nyama ye koso ni nti no obi ya ehu nia e koso obe kai before all corny primaries no o shebo say party no aye ejuma nkofo aye ejuma wo party no mu sabi ade kitikiti e motivate party for e say edu election time ana o committee a o share party t-shirt me no ka say His Excellency Boshe o share ye no we di sa Boshe no so I na me no ka say yɛ arrangement a constituencies ni nyinaa all the executives obiara t-shirt ɛwɔ hɔ nom ɛde ma no nti nipa na ɔkɔ akɔyɛ adwuma no at least some form of motivation or they start adwuma no yɛne no ayɛ yɛne ne kɔ la nanse ya yɛne ne ɛba la ɔne la mpanyinfoɔ ɛbɛnya nkitahudie ɔbɛyɛ house to house ɛwɔ hɔ nom ɛna ɛnɛ nso yi 2 programs a me no kasa yi ɔyɛ baako ne sɛ ayɛwa so West Wogon ɛno no ofiri university hɔ nom ɔne students no
University of Ghana
ɔne ɔmo ɛkɔnya nkitahudie sɛna osibɛyɛ a mmoa ɔde brɛ mmeranteɛ no sesei no issue no ɛyɛ adwuma ɛna wohwɛ political parties no nyinaa ɛne amo adwenkyerɛ ɛwɔ adwuma ho a His Excellency ne a ɔde ba no ɛyɛ superior kyɛn obiara deɛ ne deɛ no ɛyɛ adeɛ a adwuma no ɛde ba no ɛnyɛ saa adwuma no a yɛbɛtua ɔka it is say youth employment ni ɛno no is not sustainable but nea ɔno kyerɛ no nea wode ho kɔhyɛ mu a wankasa no wodaakye ɛbɛsiesie wodaakye ama wo mma wo yere ɛne wo bisiafoɔ nyinaa ɛno ne adwuma a Ghana mmeranteɛ ne mmabaawa ɔmo hwehwɛ nti ɛno ne 24-hour economy na ɔɔka no because wei yɛ adwuma a ɛwɔ hɔ nom a ɔpɛ sɛ ɔde ayi bi ɛbɛ mu a sɛ na esi bɛyɛ a wobɛtumi ayɛ adwuma no 8 hours no within ayi no ebɛtumi ayɛ no twice in a day nti 8 hours na yɛ 16 hours nti sabi sɛ institution no employ nko 400 because of 24-hour economy nti no wobɛtumi employ nko 200 nti it is an avenue a ebe create employment na enye no pe institutions no ebe benefit from that policy because of the incentives ebe more in terms of electricity or mo de be ye adwuma security ni saa nyamanyama nyina nti ade bia wo say TUC fo nyina eso mu because san hihye no ukọ amanoni a enu nti na ye nyina yakọ amanoni no
obi edwane
because adwuma baako no ebia nipa 100 na was but because of 24-hour economy ninti no nkofo 200 nti mu bia anya adwuma keke but adwuma aketua no ebetumi ahwew ma ne obusiafo nti enu ni yem focus nti okọ university no students no so agi ni tumu me say na mentumi ankobi because me so no so ye wo training program e wo pedoase nti honum na me free ba sisia no
okay
ejuma no ya chiche nti ofi honum a obekọ Madina ofi Madina obesan akọ oni chiefs ni market no
ye ne reporter na kasa sisia na so mo adura denta a ogusu no mo kasa
nti ofi adenta honum na anjese mo kosro na ansa mo ba fom nti no mo free adenta omeba Madina eno so omeba market honum omo ni mpanyifo no ebenya nkutahudie na wasan akɔyɛ house to house
okay
obɛyɛ house obala no so saa ɔne omo
so wo share wo Facebook and TV XYZ ahwɛ na se we okay university hɔ no na afi onam kromo nso ekɔ no said omo etugu wow Ghana jenkwa no na eba no
nti we no won say ɔne residents no interactive na onu
obia pese oso ni
exactly because the juma now oye na anu no is still relevant today in fact enu na ekra Ghana economy ni sisi ya nti imebu no nyina hu se onu ni leader was say nyina ya tanichi na vision owodi ma oman no sa vision no etumi to aso nti enu ni nyama ekoso ewo region mu nti mesero bia stakeholders nyina omo region hanom no mebe sro mo say we should be nkofo a ye be solve challenges ma ye fa ye hu enhye mu emane
enye gitakra ojam
sa emwa look just last week the team call various constituencies na ewie exercise no constituencies nankasa my feedback. Say, look, these are the things we need to do. What you say? Because 1 year now, you don't know actually what is happening. But meet me can details, you know. Other regions, let me I can say near ye no. What you say? Because answer victory ni beba no. And yet they did not obey. But Greater Accra, we are always ahead. I'm telling you, we are always ahead. Yenye dede.
Said you man crowd here son say han nipa no so edo so panti adwuma edam so ne so.
Enti no ye no ye believe in say adwuma no enye dede adwuma. There was say we put you strategies in place. You workers na so more ye adwuma no. So we need the right tools, the right information. What you should at the end of the day no unsa enka. Enti necessary ye mpanyimfo or more region mu say Ghana obiani edayeso. Now irrespective of opinion udi or nipa who support it, the target in say JM should be the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And you know, one kasa way like near o shishe.
Okay.
And I say memma who selfish interest and say party nejuma. Because some of our members are very vulnerable. No mankasa po mu nu omu. Sabi assembly see you were there.
Yeah.
Mankasa maybe a man can't wrong. When you saw the way things went. Oh. And you know policy no say see no. Me Jin say that is the way we should go. Because the ultimate goal ni say ni Ghana for hwehwe no eno ena yen ebeye amon nti se ne no na enye no ena ede ba na obi o hye ekire bia no e wo se ye nkwase ede ma no.
Okay. Wono makasa obi ate na honorable obisomui my penny mahama ento aboyimu no asamba ko kan ne se wo hwe tibia ye wo musisi aye ho chien ya aban ni mu mpenefo a man pani akufo ene ba mi o se yemfa Ghana nhye ne nsa no se omo kasa wo hu se omo nte Ghana ha kro de ye feel no wo mo mfili bisa enti ne kasa no ye hwenkwa ase wo ti pluto wo hu ne sa se wo mo enhu situation ne sa de tie omo kasa mfofo
oba hima ne di kan be de nchi akese di Mugabe Maase regional chairman Dr. Mark Oliver Kevo me penny Dallas Sampoma Williams and Alhaji Bello Mungina regional executive me constituency chairman Tamimu Halidu and penny for aka
Tamimu Osheho
pa
Mexiano.
In fact traction abano ano yeding obia send message I was ye show live ye show
oh wow
inti nkoko nyina ehwe yen
ye chese ko nyina
na aboso kan ko fu e wa aboso kan so ni ma wan ne nkoko
na nampedumo
sa na omu nyina ehwe etie inti ye bedo Maase na embra asema obisa ye ne so His Excellency John Dramani Mahama opportunities are or demand mabuno na yesoko.
Okay.
In fact, yen went to aba oboy. University of Ghana odru ho. Muyi insect bi mo hwese ne amount for budget ne so. Yenim se Ghana Dutch.
Ene
that's safo anu kra no.
Yeah.
Ghana Dutch safo kra no. Se wa ma no kre sene Alhaji Baumiane ne boss mo kasa mate na so person gistia no or then the boss the omo kan no okọ baby I think also no the obetimi the 8 years why na so be be man one day
okọ savannah
obi ama no one day mpo no be the 8 years show how obre any amani hu na yenam hwe His Excellency anamontu kakra bi a otu na hwe nipa ebodi nachi we on high car enfandi enfama say obi metnam embassy this is an organic love anchor for the train organic love Alaji Baumiamo, sorry, Ghana yet Ghana. In fact, ene me no ka say, oye Jumayeni or Ghana. Na yetua oka 3,000 Ghana cedis. Who say, o salary no, o convert it $1 more. Less than $200, around $194. But so many na Osika Onyano. Unia bia or not take a brochim. I say, Sebi, or no dear, include to Juma obey.
Yeah.
And damn you no sika obenyano, and our de bosuming. Na omotimi ed nante bomb bose Ghana yede. Ghana yede, yes, I had damn because omo kaze yet is castle common day. Into omo pia ye free hono, and on better scanning, so and on my risk him.
I will risk
him.
Okay.
Eti a mamo no mubun. A mamu omo pese ye share one confu. Now so Ghana for yenku ye wajidi wa reshemu. Say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama or Bah Edin Sakraye Kessie Abre Ghana. 24-hour economy honorable Eka Hwasemi. May the baby kakra be also.
Okay.
Baby a me ye juma. Me or mining sector, member company. On the normal day, I was saying a company netting me for nipa 200 maximum. 200 maximum. Now so, and now me know what I say. You for nipa over 600.
Sir?
Yeah, they run it 12-hour shifts.
Okay.
Team bako ye juma. Anopa from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. No much change. Now for fraba from 6 p.m. to anopa. Now the third team at the fear home. Inti omoba 2 anopa November 2 days. No I buy numerate 2 days. No I take it 2 days off. Na team no rotate sir. Inti if a single company in one sector it me implemented this policy when it is successful. How much more Ghana?
Yes.
Inti obia obe kase or ye 24-hour economy ni hufino. Eye bua payo. Ana sebi.
Oni shake.
Ana sebi manusi sumna so tiwi.
Okay.
Because say mining companies that work Ghana hanyina. Almost obia run as system.
Okay.
Obia juma 24 hours. Inti ye extend the other sectors in the economy. Na ye properly growth na ye here. Ama economy na asay no. Enti min say nyina na so bio. O se enye. O aye ko ye de oil fields bebre jao. Ye say jao esla ne niema. We diska ni nyina awie. Onsa da onsa yem ene. Sebi Ukraine na o se Russia Ukraine. O te Ukraine or tin to kwa no. Ono ho na okobo aibesia. Ese ombra emeboa. Na wuwie a wakase yemfa steer no ema. But o steer be. Okay, I saw my ebiama no. Oko kumase no mo mani.
Techi my hobby.
Oma ebiama no. Ultimately, the American say His Excellency John Dramani Mahama odwin Ghana mabunu ene ye dache. Na if yen meme ye babunu and on a normal day it is expected say nyame ya adoma menyi ache say oh mine yeah
ena wo share no mo am share TV ni Facebook
no akabo aben no abopa
ye de stia na man almost say wo say am first stia na ma ye de amount je na ema ye ho ya chimo
obenya no no masa akabo aben no abopa it won kwatena fie no ma ben kwatena fie no ma ben
exactly
o betena fie abo ben because Ghana de ye komu no omu hu ye ene nipa 55% of the population and a poverty bracket nim. I have some case here. We a student of economics are 55% of 30 million people. And Mabuna yes so close to 2 million. And
Ghana Statistical Service.
We this in generated data be so deba.
over 2 million.
That is it.
Or say yenya yenya juma yenya yeni school say yesia de yen so yeni nsanu juma and I say yeni baby a ye identity ye nsanu juma mu.
Wait, last time I'm in expatriate be now.
Okay.
And obisa me say adan na daytime or drive twema obe say youth no at the hot to dame.
What dream one
tiase because a productive hours. And I'm catching is that we have not created enough opportunities for them to explore. And when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, epesoba no be fele sa gap ne.
Time now would the better dameno fakoye juma. Oh, it said the Daily Graphic report here. 1.9 million youth.
Idle. No work, no training, no education. Miniaba. Say, oh, my mu. Na say, mabunu. What the young fan say 1.9 no cre. Because a bit me abro. By young fan say 1.9. Na say mabunu e my mu. Enye jumanye. Na ye te afinisi na obe wienya right flag bearer bia obeka se oman no emu yede na ono de ohia 8 years hey one day cry am farmer no
na man pene ma ha meka se wo NDC abreso won se sabre na ekuo bi yomoti unemployed graduates
Association of Ghana
na omo enya adwuma no eye 8.2%. Ene apeja ko 14.7%. Na wo bisa say sabre so omo a group no way.
Group no on. Aya from swa ye mabru no bebre ye ni. Aya political heads ne kodi group den. Oma ban buy oma jeje portfolios akese anya positions akese. Omo wie ye bebre na atukwan. Obehe kra na se wa bro ni mo kra e bia no mo kan za group no. By them in evidence. Be you. Be you. Oma jeje portfolios akese. Akotena aban mu ene ebi nso kwa brochire. Enjoying the omo friend is the fruit of their labor. Adodo na edi omachi no ebre.
Nti omo nsisem.
Mini aba nsisen na na ehia.
Okay.
Mami narrow it down to Nkoko constituency.
Okay.
Nkoko major projects be on Nkoko. NDC abain ye.
Okay.
Major project be on Nkoko. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama bai. Oma effort was senior high school. Community day schools.
Yes.
Nkoko ETB road or the mine. The very first traffic light even in Kwawu land. Nkoko NHS free. Where lorry stations paving those places and building stores in Asefo. Nina NDC abenso.
Yeah.
His Excellency Akufo-Addo oba ye no wabedi Easter wo ho mako 7. Ye were MPs wo ho including ministers.
COVID time.
COVID time oba ye. Mosi ye nche dem ono ko aba Easter. Ye nya mfaso de bia mfiri so.
Ese referral hospital cra.
Ne was a bahon.
Yes, enya branca.
Omo pia ye de ko ayi enyinem.
De oye ensu we bitifi anka. Say ye wo enisuade ho abanya teso anka omayamayin.
Ene omo so omo kosi agenda 111 sinche. Can you just imagine?
Ti sa na akoye.
Enti His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on any day will prove it say on minor than akoma so.
Okay.
And mabunu impunto than akoma so.
Very well.
And me ne NDC phone nyina edi yensa eto yensa yama pacho. Oye Ghana babunu. Ma odachi hu hia.
Okay.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama assures us of that sweet future we want for ourselves and our kids.
Medase. Na to say enkomo na ye de ane penny oje mama NDC wo ye enkokwa abato mpesi asakomra shebedwom no honorable obi sumwano no na mama nkanfo Safari Valley Eco Resort me say de bia ya me catch us kwane kwhwe wani so ade wo ho san say eho no abodie mu bobre mu bibia wo pese wo hu ebi wo ho maka say makọ eho mada ho na media dance a chew esem eba na emu adoma wo jata wo hu bida wo hu seboda ko wo be hu bi wo ho why na fe said the bobra ne tia wo benya from apabia home wo beba na che say wo honam aye o se form wo no abusua mo nkọ na mo nkodi weekend ho ebi kra wa ware foforo wo pe ba bia kodi honeymoon eye Safari Valley Eco Resort wo ye meeting bi conference bi ehwa am wo mo ewo edukrum ai okre mensini emu edukrum wo de wo se ye nche odaw ai ehwa na omo me pacho obetumi afre number 0596 914 394 0596 914 394 meti wen every ho amuzu garlic bitters pacho edu papa wono mu a esane mojem etoda na moja na bobo apapo enti mini efu sane se de eseye wonum amuzu garlic bitters a esane mu ema chese ahode ba cholesterol boni be free ho wodon so a ententententem bibi na ekoka wo ema wodon so ententem sa wonum amuzu garlic bitters a ebeboa yie pa ama afe wani so aye wisiwisi ni nyina bibi ada ho clear edi amawo mepacho baby yeton nuro bi atitu herbal shop biamu ebi ewo ho wo betumi so akọ Accra o Kaishi drag lane na wakọ jibi wo ho ene amuzum penefo ni nkomo 0247 776 743 0247 776 743 all right enti medase se wati na ba na sama me ye to nkomo no so onyobo ene ye wo kromo ye nka bi nhemu na droba for de aba omo se efen ubo peja na epeja womun so mun tumi embe cost no enti eba ne sade na say passengers na omode ma ti ene ye hwe ni mu kwan say next week ekono according to omo adrobafo no omo peja asentuade ne buomu akọ 15% ye misa say sa etibia ye womu a Dr. Baumia kodigi omo di ye wuramu na ye san ato asentuade mu ohanchemu dunum ehun sunsanso ebe ye san
yo obinya de bia mi ade ba kwa America ne se obi pese odi wenima ingredients ana se ade potia wo se odi susu no se onipa no okanukre
okay
because se wo pese wo leading kofo a wo se utumi build trust o ade no enu ni ade baako a Nana Dodanko Akufo-Addo His Excellency any Dr. Baumia o ma kire Ghana for say omuni bi
okay adey
beginning no yentie anase yenhwe nsem a omuka kire Ghana for and ade baako a eye Ghana for ya ni say yen papa anase Dr. Baumia onyo obi a oferi sabi entro no let's call a spade a spade you see oyo nipa bi a se o dada nkofo a odi tumi bi akukudro bi na odi ye and when nama when na amasisi ano ye woti bi a ye wo mu yi mu be kai a yen time na a gallon of fuel
yeah
and a gallon of fuel no a brew a liter of fuel no a brew yen time a whole gallon of fuel
14 cedis no
what you say na we mu yankofu bi a omu ka kire Ghana for say mudi ahwode no ehye yensemu a saa nyama ni nyina no ebebo modin aye ho adwuma amam ene den na yehu ewo omuni yemu to Kwame Nkrumah to yesi edema Ghana say yemfan refine crude na yetumi nya petroleum products at a cheaper cost no ɔmo no ɛnyɛ sɛ ɔmo ba bɛyɛ ne yie o but ɔmo yɛ nhyehyɛeɛ a ɔmo bɛtɔn sɛbi ama ɔmo ho ɔman ne japade biara ɔmo fom
state capture
ɔman japade biara ɔmo fom yɛ gold ankasa ɛnyɛ yɛ parliament at the time no yɛn kɔɔfoɔ no ani biri yanka anka ɛnɛ ɛjapa ya passing into law gold royalties ni nyinaa no ɛkɔ baabi a obi enim nkɔfoɔ a ɔmo tie saa corporation n'akyi wate aseɛ hwɛ fuel prices ɛkɔ so no adeɛ baako ɛwɔ fuel price increase mu sɛ the moment fuel price ɛbɛkɔ so no affect bibia in the economy affect water production nti nsuo yɛbɛtum affect drivers movement from one end to the other because fuel and also UC nti cost ni cost ro na ɔno no ni ɔbɛyɛ ne sɛ edwadini no ɔde saa cost no de bɛma no nti na ɛnɛ wotɔ dɔko na wontumi ntɔkye na wi na sɛ mbehu dɔko no bi a wudi wa no na yɛ me arewo because that's no minim china ma ɛda wo dɔko no so what you are saying
ɛsɛ nneɛma mu nyɛ
ɛno nti no the moment a prices of fuel ɛbɛkɔ soro pɛ na ma bibia ɛkɔ so ɛna adeɛ baako sɛ wɔ Ghana hanom no sɛ once prices no kɔ soro no ɛmbɛ fom bio nti sɛ woyɛ aban a wodwin woman ho a wobɛyɛ bibia a wobɛtumi ayɛ ɛde a make sure sɛ wobɛ stabilize prices na adeɛ baako a mo yɛ koraa na prices no ɛkɔ soro taxes your friends say production cost ɛkɔ soro no Africa no mo introduce more taxes ɛde go so they don't care na wo the nyameka say ba o mia yo bi a sabi omu dada nkofo a omu fairy intro prices of fuel ɛkɔ soro no ono ka kire o say okoye gold for oil oh mama worry fuel na ɛkɔ soro no yes na the policy bi ba sa policy no ebema fuel buo beden ebe kofom ene Ghana ye gold abedane edwadi a aban panyifo edi minya ye gold ni ko ye gold no ye di ye business but who say onwanu kasa eye dedede because that is the strategy transfer sa eye policy policy no ade ne yen tro kra de baby a obedu bia wo de ka baby a obedu bia wo de ka unya ka ni sa na eto enipa sum na koye ade a ewo ho no enti ene yesi ye good for oil because na bawumia ka kire yen say ye sidi no opese sidi no enya hoodin ti o enti no ye mfa sika enkoto fu obiom se ye be use ye good se na esibe ye sika no ebe den ebenya awondin fiti sata ma ye start sa policy no eni ene ye sika na ko esen because na minim say pound edu eyi 20 serious o
obi to 50 pounds ala wa domo
I always can
say omu gu oman no na omu gu oman no omu siesi omu echi nti aban isaase a Kwame Nkrumah omu didi na atem no omu didi na atem no onu na wonyansa sabi se omu ye adwuma ema aban owo so omu ye close to the ministries se na esibe ya obenya adaji a obetenasi esusu oman no ene sa facilities no muni private developers aye baako ena mu pamu technocrats no efi bungalows no ena mu tunton ema mu ena mu di ye apartments
ana bo bo ne to fa mama no
ene hwela minya sabi weni da ho no mu na say who per se who see hospital share your friend saying Accra general hospital rich
yeah
under John Dramani Mahama she kwan so ayedi share sa refurbishment no dan is you no ye bu hanum kakra ni aye na yi nkofo edi ko hanum na ye bu hanum kakra ni aye for over getting to 4 years now hospital kakraka edi ejuma ebre residents
la general
hospital ukohwe ye maiwa ni sabi mpenyimfo omo la ya reho because na emewa ni bi na nsuo no muton na pharmacies omuton eduro omuton dokono se bibia ebema sa hospital economy no atrive ene wekum sa de no meni nyina sabi abanya unse ukoye bibia bible na nkasaka you count the cost what you say enti omuno amamuo no eyendada amamuo
okay
eyendada amamuo enti ye best Ghana for the leader we can trust the me can say we ye pinyia ade baako a ebe ma amanfo edi wenim say wo ka obeye and Baumiani Nanado Danko Kufuado or Mama Ghana for enuomo. And the youth should not allow the influence of money because seze ni yakoso no sikache omu che sikanka sanka and send among for say aye vulnerable no one hwe yi a 50 Ghana ni 100 Ghana no ebe ma wa koye bibia ubenu hu yensusu se oman no daachi ene yehia ye nyina enti mabuo no yesremo elections there ye koi ehemu munsem it is the youth who are going to determine the future of this country.
Okay.
Na me eyemi de say labor and workers unions omo sorry ejina omunan so omo jina omunan so saana kakra na ebetumi a savage no His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba na wo betumi ayeden apeja so amaye
me da say honorable ena ye fra wo osi ade yo Nana Kofi Atochi we NDC chairman ewom Amenfi East abato mpisia so ke Nicholas menchia o emano na ye konkoko honorable
yambra nkoko
gold for oil ene efen wo bo peja na epeja ye to ahyentuade mu 15%. Yensu ye ni bi ye ho chien ye nya den passengers 5 minutes.
Me nim say obekai emra Dr. Baumia Alaji or yes how the good for oil policy neighbor minority raise concerns senka on for modalities for that policy and to edra sene and I won sabe kan because me sakan yanka me kan so sakan yanka waboso ne
yes sir
MPP aban bia nanado ne Alaji Baumia aban Oma yo margin so mo de opportunity bia obenya e de JBB ana e de awia Ghana sika bia o mbewia enye suro so na me de ka maka good for oil ene mene wo ka say omo implement sa policy no where the exchange rate assign koye omo sign the buy IMF sika ne ba exchange rate be ye and a sign call phone become fuel price no be stabilize it and on in the 15.2 say 15.5 there about I drew na ni nyina mu no so bo no yemfa mo Dr. Baumia
also ope president
no ope den na di da bia no dey all kind wa me ba jo as an economist I believe so kita PhD in economics na o de policy beba your friend be thinking through a policy na esa wo dadwen ho yie enye wonko wonim penifo a o ma bobil Ghana we have the men NDC na all men no because where you also energy sector but how we handled it
even a bra ye kwa ho hiahia man na nka ne adum no person His Excellency ejina ho je responsibility no a solve this issue yeko na esla skadamu na tema oil refinery honorable kan ho asem na ye was stage bia a break even make profit to any bulk storage bust na under one management no more atimi enye sika ato ho na de bia ye ka yesi se wo nye sika gu ho na se wuti anye yi wukowu na de obedi wa de no ohun skada wa hwia o legacy nyina bes eno na ato Ghana eno na ato Ghana
eso no mo
wa mrenu nya ye oba ye ni scan da ho obebisa se kwan ben na wo fa so nya scan to wa misa
okay
sikana no mudi ye njare wo wiem yeah oh no private jet asem e ba ye wo ya we mini aba ho ya we ye koto fleet of cars bi e hu hia ye be raise concerns obi anya ene de Ghana abedu bebi a ye dri now so media price increases na abano effect e benya ne se driver for my expenditure daily expenditures be cost say no tofu or 20 cedis and then okotofu or ebi 25 cedis and say no etimi ayejuma ono so kwantimi mfa kan or be passing it on
the one no see amamen
onto the final consumer enti e be affect the entire economy ye besre aban ontwi break kakra e wo prices are all increasing ye bre
so onye bibi
ye bre se o sorry anopa na onya kuku opa o gari afa kakra fra na oh yes eno na betimi an sustain you anya sa miniaba obetna ase
yeah dollar so no the strategy no
yes koko gari
hey honorable
seriously anya sa e kombedew throughout the day me anopa me no koko e pe bofo 2 cedis bi kan ho me ni di bio
bofo 2 cedis
o ma born say I said do not me to everything
as adwe
eno na me bofo 2 cedis eno na me sika timi sun ye honorable
me di banana 3 me ensa sen fiti anopa eno anu
enumre no ape ayi bi o ko ani ho ape dokro bi ebia eno ka
ene ase woni
yes o de makona onye na
aduane ne bo
food is very expensive aduane bo ayedin
Ghana ayedin almost
na hwen kran asetena mo de ye wa ha nyina e be say kran de matena ha che hwen kran asetena obe ha single room 950 cedis fancy yetua oka 2500 what your utilities car baby a hotel be fa car bedroom
okay
omo pese ye den especially mabunu no ene ya survive
nti odo anu si no
me de ma no si no
ene kwofo ka bibi twa
in fact ye wo option ba ko pe
sema eduasa
ye
can say 30 seconds
yes ye wo option ba ko pe the option is to bring change and a positive change inti mesre ye nyina ye nka mo mas mabunu yentoma His Excellency John Dramani Mahama
okay
na nkoko for them no ma di nkomo dada His Excellency so ba yo na ye di nkomo nkoko sports stadium na anyi ne CSC ho no o se oba obehwa mayeye me ma me no mo agbogloshi market ma promise you ye ba we would make sure we give them a befitting place to call a market ama ye di aye ye nuanu makuafo omonso ye ne omo liezi ahwe the best policy to fit them in the agri
very well
and you know the only option we have is to bring change Yenfa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Mra na Fred so one obey Ms. Member as member of parliament from Koko.
Thank you. And Koko for Facebook my home nyina amount support pa honorable 5 seconds.
Yeah, maybe person make actually Ghana for nyina say Saturday His Excellency have the great work. Okay. Greater Accra. Now team no is to change the status quo. And your friend Mabru Nina, I'm going to join here. I will crow, you best started from the Spinters Road.
Okay.
Now, His Excellency, the next President of the Republic of Ghana. Now, Yemma. Enthusiasm, build that enthusiasm, for the 2024 December 7th elections,
Very well.
The best say Obia Imbrewao, in Kokrao, Imrantium, Obia or person or my assistant for the better, no. This great work is for you. It's Munyana Mumra.
Madam Sepa Mabeda for 80 Honorable Theophilus Tetechai. Na motene ko ye Greater Accra Regional Secretary Emma NDC Samayiko also na Honorable Fred Obin Somoa ono NDC parliamentary candidate wo enkokwa abatu mpisi aso mote omonka menu omo edi enkomo ma ne ye fe ko man nyina metia me ma me akua kesewa ubutu ko enkokwa metia o
abitifi organizer asamen kanjo so
yo metia no metia omo nyina na ye de edwumadie ne nyina si Mugabe Maase baby awo bia metia wo na aseda kese enkoma Kevin Asante wo bo mechidom na mede edwumadie ba ye Chuku Innocent Abante de say Nicholas womu nyina tayeche Raf MP Peter Emmanuel Kisi Alex Francis Kofi the boy mu nyina mobochidom Edmond Elizabeth Tego nso siesie me ma me ho ye fepa na ye de dwumadie ebem me so ohene ba boa mabani okubangra one amapoma teteku womo edi no siabrom kasebo enso ebem ye de mu nyina se ama moniti eneshe modronfo eyeme be po so hima nana ya foriwa amafo komai agudie papa bi ladies dembos medamu nyina se